I'm Mike AD, and welcome to the Delta League Podcast. Welcome to Season 3, and it's Week 2 of the Preseason. We are 1 week away from the regular season beginning. Now, let's get right to the games and the chaos. Now, we're going to start on Monday, where LA was taking on Baltimore and Phoenix from San Francisco, California, as part of the National Showcase. Now, in this one, Los Angeles wins. It's LA 27, Phoenix 25, Baltimore, get this, 3. Christ. For LA, Chip Chiozzi had 9 goals. For Baltimore, Chris Hines had 10 blocks. And Lloyd Warfield had 9 blocks. For Phoenix, Ash Malik had 8 goals. Now, LA player Clark Crapeau suffered broken ribs in this match. He'll be out 3 weeks. LA player Bobby Sheffitz says he's giving his salary to help humanitarian efforts in Gaza. That's a great turnaround for a player who was so highly penalized last season. Perhaps he has seen the light now. LA rookie Ivan Rechsteiner was pulled over and found to have a gun in the trunk. Luckily, he did all his paperwork. Mr. Rechsteiner was on his way to do some sport shooting and was pulled over for a small violation. Luckily, no charges were laid, and LA does not need this season to look like last season. In this one, Chris Chin had a black card, and that's 4 players out now for the Rising. In addition, Danny Mack and Carl Slate had yellow cards. Now, let's move on to Wednesday, where Vancouver is taking on Toronto and Montreal from Edmonton, Alberta. And in this one, Montreal wins. Montreal 36, Toronto 29, Vancouver 15. For Vancouver, Romeo DaRosa had 5 blocks. For Toronto, Curly Barnabani had 6 goals. And for Montreal, Angela Carlucci had 7 goals. And Stefan Grice had 9 blocks. Now, Maelstrom player Antoine Lachance did not play in this game because he was changing diapers. He just became a father. God frickin' speed. Now, let's move on to Saturday, where Philadelphia is taking on New York and Las Vegas from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And in this one, Philadelphia wins. Philadelphia 21, New York 16, Las Vegas 8. For Philadelphia, it was Travis Valencia with 5 goals, and Suzuki Sato, who made the flight this time, 7 blocks. For New York, it was Rhino Montalban with 6 blocks, and for Las Vegas, it was Tokyo Cortalewi with 10 blocks. Now, this game was very hot. Apparently, the air conditioning system malfunctioned, making it extremely uncomfortable for players and fans alike. Now, before this game, it was found that official Jupiter Hasselbeck had been arrested after she destroyed her husband's car with a sledgehammer and set it on fire after a domestic argument. Now, she's been charged with willful destruction of property as well as arson. Needless to say, she did not make it to today's game. Now, let's move on to Memphis, who was playing Miami and Portland from NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana. And in this one, Memphis wins. Memphis 26, Miami 21, Portland 8. In this one, Carmelo McCall had 5 goals. Now, Miami player Sunshine Adelma suffered a sprained knee in this game. She'll be out 2 weeks. Memphis player William Meller was arrested this week for what appears to be a road rage incident. He's been instructed to get a ride until his court date. Now, Memphis rookie Husky DeSanto is getting a divorce. Apparently, this was a Las Vegas wedding that did not go well after the honeymoon, so they are getting a rapid annulment. Now, after this game Saturday, Miami player Marquette Weaver was almost maimed by a baseball bat-wielding fan. This comes a week after Weaver stepped down as the team's captain due to health issues. Jesus Christ. Now, let's move on where Chicago is playing Detroit and Salt Lake City from St. Louis, Missouri. And in this one, a very, very low-scoring affair. As Chicago prevails, Chicago 17, Detroit 9, Salt Lake City 3. Now, for Chicago, Giacomo Trunk had 5 goals, and Jonas Stankavicius had 6 blocks. For Detroit, Anna Slutsky had 6 blocks. Now, Chicago player Paul Marullo suffered a fractured kneecap in this match. He'll be out 6 weeks. Now, SLC player the Messiah, Jesus Colon, has been credited for an act of heroism as he didn't walk on water, but he did save a young child from drowning while on vacation. Now, there is now sympathy going out to SLC player Ari Schwartz as he had to put down his dog. Thoughts and prayers. Now, let's move on to the next game where Seattle is taking on Atlanta and Boston from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And in this one, the veritable can of whip-ass gets opened to an infinite degree, where Seattle destroys Boston and Atlanta by a score of Seattle 84, Boston 12, Atlanta 9. In this one, Marnie Johnstone had 18 goals. James Corn had 15 goals. Frank Viano had 13 goals. Laurie Moss had 6 blocks. And all Atlanta could muster is 5 blocks from Veggie Balsara. Now, Jesus, this team is going to be hard to beat again. Now, lastly, let's move on to where Dallas is taking on Denver and Washington from Houston, Texas. And in this one, Denver wins. Denver 60, Washington 14, Dallas 8. Now, for Denver, Bernie Tully had 5 blocks. Anatoly Schaefer for Dallas had 5 blocks. For Vince Howard for Denver had 12 goals. And Larry McMaster for Denver had 9 blocks. Now, Washington's team bus got into an accident, and as a result, Octavian Womack was injured. Not seriously, but he did not play in this game. Now, Washington Power player Sebastiano Guarnieri has made it publicly known that he has no desire to re-sign with Washington after this season. God damn, that's a good way to boost team morale. So, that is it for this week in the Delta League podcast. Join us in a few days for the 2026 Delta League season preview. showing all the events from the past offseason and predictions for this coming season, which will undoubtedly bring absolute chaos. See ya.